Tonight on CTV News at 6, a bumpy ride.
This is the worst year I've seen for potholes, and I mean big potholes.
CAA's Worst Roads campaign is back for another year. It's taking a toll on police officers.
To deal with the unhoused and help them and support them.
North Bay's police chief is echoing the call for a permanent 24/7 homeless shelter and hub.
CTV News at 6 with Tony Ryma and Rick Wyman with weather.
Good evening. Thanks for being with us on this Tuesday, March 24th. When the temperatures tick up this time of year, more potholes crop up. That means you'll see drivers swerving on roads to avoid them. CTV's Madison Merrier tells us more about the start of a popular campaign.
As the snow continues to fall on the streets of Greater Sudbury, potholes are sometimes hard to spot, but easy to feel.
Well, I think there's lots of them. That's what I think. As far as taking care of them, I don't know how to do that, or I don't know if they know how to do it, but it's definitely an ongoing thing.
Right now, they're about the worst year they've ever been. I've lived in Sudbury for 79 years, and this is the worst year I've seen for potholes, and I mean big potholes. Where I blew a tire on my truck once, and now everybody I know is having problems with their cars.
Their comments are timely. CAA's Worst Roads campaign has just begun.
It's a perfect opportunity to advocate for change and have your voices heard. Right. And it serves as another alternative to communicate to your elected representatives of what you're feeling about the state of the roads. And we welcome all road users. It could be motorists. It could be public transit users.
Public nominations opened up today, and Sudbury is no stranger to the list. In 2025, the city took 3 spots on the Northern Regional Top 5 list. At number 1 is Panache Lake Road.
A lot of the roads, in Sudbury and North Bay, Sault Ste. Marie with McNabb Street, they got onto our Northern Regional list last year. That there are infrastructure projects going on with these roads. Premier Road in North Bay, they're going through a large-scale infrastructure project. So it's good to see that municipalities are paying attention to this.
Officials with the city say crews are focused on snow removal. However, our cameras did spot a pothole repair crew on Burton Avenue. The cracks and bumps are caused by the freeze and thaw cycle. And with warmer weather on the horizon, roads may get worse before they get better. Madison Merrier, CTV News, Sudbury.
North Bay's police chief is throwing his support behind a larger push to enhance and sustain a 24/7 homeless shelter in the city. CTV's Eric Tashner has the details.
This is a much needed service.
Acknowledging the extra toll it takes on police resources, assisting with North Bay's homeless crisis, Police Chief Daryl Longworth is throwing his support behind the social services call for immediate funds for a permanent 24/7 homeless shelter and hub.
To deal with the unhoused and help them and support them.
Longworth wrote a letter to the Minister of Municipal Affairs and Housing, Rob Flack, outlining the police agency's push, writing that 34 people are staying in encampments week over week, and on average, over 160 people are turned away from the low barrier shelter per month.
We don't have as many tools as some of the other social servants and treatment agencies out there that they really need to be funded well.
The Social Services Board, Crisis Center, and the city have been working to find a permanent location for a 24/7 shelter to increase security, reduce costs, and the stress of arranging overnight accommodations.
We're limited on not impacting daycares or schools or businesses.
A temporary all-day shelter is currently set up at Northern Pines until April 30th, but the Social Services Board is slashing its hours in half starting May 1st until November 1st because the funding envelope isn't there.
When those people are displaced and have nowhere else to go, we, as police, we're the ones that usually get the phone call.
Due to concern from emergency and mental health services and the shelter's neighbors, there are ongoing talks with the Crisis Center to maintain its hours for the summer, if the money can be scrounged up.
So if we could find ways to house them and have them receive all the care that they need, I think that's a better fit to transition them out of homelessness.
While the board advocates and presses to secure funding from the province. Eric Tashner, CTV News, North Bay.
A report recommending the extension of homelessness services at Energy Court is headed to Sudbury City Council next week. That story right now from CTV's Alan Everson.
The report recommends the extension of services at this trailer until the end of September. Right now, it operates 24/7. The service provider is the charity, the Go Give Project.
We have once again seen an increase in the population within our community, and you know, we still continue to go through extreme amounts of hand warmers, emergency blankets, and things like that. This storm also was very impactful. It did damage a lot of tents, and it, you know, created a lot of barriers for individuals to access services as they would normally.
The extension of services from May to the end of September recommends the trailer at Energy Court operates as a drop-in 8 hours a day.
Report is a recommendation that allows for a continuation of services at Energy Court. So we are looking at transitioning in springtime, you know, from warming center to cooling center. This will allow us to continue to provide the existing services that we have in place currently, just at a reduced hours.
The report says staff are exploring options to provide additional portable washrooms at the site from May to September. It will be presented to Council March 31st. The report includes information from profiles of 50 occupants of the Energy Court Encampment site, developed by client navigators and community partners. It shows the prominent barriers to securing and maintaining housing include addiction-related challenges, 94%, mental health challenges, 86%, affordability or availability constraints, 70%. The report says efforts will continue to support occupants of the Energy Court Encampment site to secure housing, and the plan is to close it in 2027. Alana Everson, CTV News, Sudbury.
The status of a solar project proposed for Northern Ontario hangs in the balance after opposition from local residents. CTV's Angela Gemmell has the story.
Underneath this blanket of snow is a farmer's field, but if a proposed project goes ahead, there could be solar panels instead of crops.
People relocate here for the quality of life, for the natural element, for the lakes that we have, and I feel that needs to be protected.
Bichette says she's just one of many residents and other local groups opposing the proposed Massey Solar project. Still in the early stages of development, the 150 megawatt solar facility would be created by Potentia Renewables on this 600 acre property, roughly 12 kilometers outside of the town.
There's a lot of provincially significant wetlands there. There's the cold spring there. It's also farmland, and part of the property actually backs onto Birch Lake, which has 15 fish spawning habitats.
Potentia still needs to secure a contract with the independent system electricity operator, which could happen by April 14th. The mayor says council voted 6-1 to allow Potentia to apply to the ISEO based on proper zoning and the township's official plan. The mayor says opposition around the community to the solar project has led to misinformation, harassment, threats, and accusations of bribery. In a statement to CTV News, the company says the project would deliver economic and community benefits. The solar facility would generate enough emissions-free electricity to power about 23,000 homes. But Potentia does acknowledge the local concerns. If the project is selected, it would be required to undergo a comprehensive environmental assessment, including detailed hydrogeological and ecological studies with mitigation measures required for identified risks. Bichette says she feels this should have been done first.
The public should have been consulted to see if they're amenable to a project this large.
The mayor adds there will be security at their next meeting. Bichette says a large crowd is expected at Wednesday night's council meeting, when Sable Spanish Council is expected to vote on whether to rescind its support for the Massey Solar project. Angela Gemmell, CTV News, Massey.
Now let's talk weather. Sun, cloud, and flurry activity on this Tuesday. What's in store for the rest of the week? Here's CTV's Rick Wyman with the answer.
Pretty well a lot of what you just said, Tony. Got some mixed precipitation, some sleet in the forecast, and a lot more. Our systems map courtesy of Environment Canada. Have a look. Some snow, and of course more to the south. Some rain, some snow, mixed precipitation. We call it sleet here in Northeastern Ontario. We'll get into some of the 7-day numbers a little bit later on as well, but some of the temperatures somewhat mild a drop off or two with a cold night or a colder day, but then again, those temperatures hovering near normal. Not quite normal for this time of the year, but getting very, very close. And the normals, 2, 3, 4 degrees. We'll have some details coming up with your currents just minutes away, Tony.
Thanks for that, Rick. A local hero still to come on CTV News at 6. A Sudbury police officer is up for a provincial award. First, we're heading to downtown Parry Sound. This live webcam is courtesy of Northern Creations. It's Zero. We will return after this commercial break.
Pure Country 91.7. Sudbury's home for the best country music. Listen for your chance to win $50,000 with Pure Country's big $50K payday.
30 police officers from Northeastern Ontario are in the running for a provincial honor in Sudbury. Constable Ryan Hutton is nominated for the Community Role Model Award in recognition of his mental health advocacy. CTV's Amanda Hicks reports.
After 25 years in policing, Sudbury Constable Ryan Hutton says he's seen the invisible toll the job can take on those on the front lines.
I've been a part of numerous units where mental health was not on the forefront and it wasn't the priority. I've seen guys and girls have to leave units because of it, and I've seen them have to leave policing altogether. And that's not okay.
A recent addition to the Mobile Crisis Rapid Response Team, he's become involved in local charity efforts. From the Ride for Mental Health and Wounded Warriors to push-up challenges to raise awareness for first responder PTSD. His advocacy led to his nomination for the Community Role Model category, one of 5 Hero of the Year awards distributed by the Police Association of Ontario.
This year we've received over 160 nominations from across Ontario, with 30 coming from Northeastern Ontario. And so we're really looking forward to honoring the outstanding police personnel right from right across Ontario and shining a spotlight on those that really make an impact.
Hutton says he sees this nomination as more than a personal accolade. He sees it as a platform to keep the conversation going about mental health amongst those in the line of duty.
The more we talk about it, the more we can help people learn how to be resilient, and the more we can get ahead of it, then the better off everyone's going to be, and the easier it's going to be for people to manage the stress of the job.
The winners will be honored at an awards ceremony in Windsor at the end of May. Amanda Hicks, CTV News, Sudbury.
North Bay Police are sharing the results today of Project Exodus, a compliance check operation conducted last month. In partnership with OPP, the Bail Compliance Unit was focusing on active arrest warrants and ensuring those released were abiding by conditions laid out by the court. Police executed 93 warrants and arrested 7 suspects. 6 arrest warrants were issued for criminal offenses and 36 criminal code charges were laid, and 3 Controlled Drugs and Substances Act charges were laid as well.
If you're on bail, you've already been through the court system and given a chance. So if they're reoffending, it puts the people who are reoffending back in custody.
The Bail Compliance Unit also executed outstanding warrants on behalf of the OPP, Toronto Police, and Chatham-Kent Police. The boil water advisory for the town of Englehart continues after a power outage Sunday. Those on the municipal drinking water system are being encouraged to bring water to a rolling boil for at least a minute before use. The advisory suggests the use of bottled water for consumption and washing food items. The water is okay for baths and showers. Students and union members gathered outside Queen's Park this afternoon to protest the Ford government's recent changes to OSAP. The group is calling on the province to reverse funding cuts, which they say will prevent students from attending post-secondary school. CTV's Siobhan Morris has that story.
Outside the legislature, students from across Ontario make noise about a shift in OSAP. Shut it down! It means they'll have to lean harder on loans they have to pay back.
These funds will really help me, get on my feet, especially afterwards I plan on going to law school, so that's going to draw me in even more debt.
Brenna's rethinking her plan to study early childhood education this fall.
I don't come from generational wealth. I'm on my own when it comes to college. I'm not getting any support from my family. I also don't have a job right now. I've been looking for months.
Dahlia's already tapping into OSAP grants on a path she hopes will lead to a career in gynecology.
I'm possibly looking at completely throwing away a dream I've had since I was 4.
Inside the legislature, the leader of the opposition says students feel like they're slipping through the cracks.
They're just asking for a chance, a fair chance to finish what they started or start at all.
The minister insists there is help available.
There's many different opportunities for bursaries and grants. Our universities give $1.8 billion of bursaries and grants every single year, as well as our student access guarantee.
To the Liberals, that sounds like
you need to go more into debt. We're going to make it harder for you. We're piling on the debt. The minister doesn't get it.
The minister says the shift away from grants is necessary because the current model is not sustainable.
You know what's not sustainable? Spending $100 billion on a stupid tunnel under the 401 or billions of dollars to build a fantasy island for a convention center.
Students aren't thrilled with the idea of more loans, whether they're through OSAP or a bank.
Loans are always really difficult because you have to pay them back, and that's even more money that's being drained from your wallet.
Worried about getting a job to fill in a financial hole after graduation.
This provincial government has been doing bugger all to help people when they come out of university get jobs, and now they're attacking people trying to get into university and college.
The government has called any debt an investment in the future. It's also pumping over $6 billion more into post-secondary education over the next 4 years. Siobhan Morris, CTV News.
Back now for a check on your current conditions. Here's Rick.
Thanks, Tony. We've got our current conditions standing by. First, our forecast radar as issued by Environment Canada. System moving through tomorrow, continuing into Thursday. So it'll be on again, off again in terms of conditions, some flurries and some sleet and some nicer temperatures, perhaps some snow or rain as well. Some of those temperatures for this hour: Moosonee minus 17. Last night it was -1 with the sunshine. Cochrane, Sun and Cloud minus 19, -6. Timmins with the sunshine. Kapuskasing -10. Chapleau 0. Wawa +1, and again predominantly cloudy. We've got mainly sunny skies in Sault Ste. Marie at 2 degrees. How about Parry Sound? Some cloud at 0. North Bay this hour -2. Temiskaming Shores 0. And Kirkland Lake at -3. Some sun and cloud. Greater Sudbury light flurries +1. Espanola mainly sunny at 2. Mainly sunny in Elliott Lake at 3. And Gore Bay 2 degrees. Mainly sunny skies. We'll take a peek at what's happening with the 7-day forecast and also feature the pick of the day. You know it's a sure sign of spring, according to one viewer. That's coming up, Tony.
Thanks, Rick. New details are emerging next on CTV News at 6. We head to New York and the site of that tragic plane fire truck collision. And the Timmins District Hospital is getting a new leader. In New York, it was the first full day of investigating the fatal crash between an Air Canada Express jet and a fire truck at LaGuardia International Airport. Among the questions today, why the truck didn't have a transponder to trigger a warning. CTV's Adrian Gobriel has the latest.
With the twisted, tangled wreckage of Air Canada Express Flight 8646 still strewn across LaGuardia Airport's runway 4, new details today on the tragic chain of events. The U.S. Port Authority fire truck that collided with the Air Canada Express passenger plane didn't have a tracking device on board to alert LaGuardia Airport's surface detection equipment of its location.
You have to know where ground vehicles and aircraft are. So in this case, that vehicle did not have a transponder.
We're also learning crucial details from the final moments recorded inside the cockpit as the Air Canada flight made its final descent.
At 54 seconds, the flight crew acknowledged that the airplane was 500 feet above the ground and on a stable approach. At 25 seconds, Truck 1 requested to cross runway 4 at taxiway Delta. At 20 seconds, the tower cleared Truck 1 and company to cross runway 4. At 9 seconds, the tower instructed Truck 1 to stop.
Stop, truck one, stop, truck one, stop, truck one, stop.
At least 10 calls to stop went unanswered as air traffic control watched the scene unfold in real time. The impact claiming the life of pilot Antoine Foray, who grew up southwest of Montreal. Foray's brother Cedric sharing this childhood photo on Facebook while writing in part, "Have a good flight, my brother. Oh yes, we've heard the phrase often, but this time it will be the last. You left us again. Too soon to say goodbye. I love you, my brother. You can leave with your head held high." At Seneca College campuses today, Canadian flags are at half-mast for co-pilot Mackenzie Gunther, who graduated with honors in aviation technology. There are also stories of survival. Flight attendant Solange Tremblay suffered multiple leg fractures after she was ejected from the aircraft while still strapped to her jump seat, her family calling her survival miraculous. Aviation experts believe the pilots may have saved the lives of dozens of passengers.
The crew, in my opinion, heroically did what they could to slow the aircraft down and to lessen the impact.
This comes as confirmation that 3 Canadian Transportation Safety Board inspectors arrived at the crash scene this morning to work in lockstep with their U.S. counterparts.
They are entitled to tour the wreckage. They also have access to most of the recorded information that will be collected during the investigation.
As for the flight data recorder, analysis on that is expected to begin today, with a transcript of the cockpit voice recorder released tomorrow. Adrian Gobrel, CTV News, Queens, New York.
There are signs of quiet diplomacy at lowering the temperature in the Middle East as war rages between Iran, the U.S. and Israel. 3 Pakistani officials and an Egyptian official say the U.S. has agreed in principle to join talks in Pakistan. They add that mediators are still working to convince Iran to join the talks. Iranian officials remain defiant, vowing to, quote, fight until complete victory. Energy Minister Tim Hodgson says Canada is ready to increase the flow of natural gas to the U.S. to help meet the rising demand. He made the comments in an interview with Bloomberg Television.
A key component of winning the AI race is building more data centers. That requires more natural gas. We can provide that natural gas.
Global energy markets are under strain as the conflict in the Middle East continues, including liquefied natural gas after an Iranian strike on a key complex in Qatar. Hodgson says Canada is doing everything possible to keep energy flowing during the war. Meanwhile, Alberta Premier Danielle Smith's office says the province is doing its best to meet the April 1st deadline on energy and climate agreements with the federal government. Those were outlined in the Memorandum of Understanding signed last November, aiming to explore a new pipeline from Alberta to the West Coast. U.S. President Donald Trump's postponement of striking Iranian power plants has calmed the oil markets, leading to a big break at the gas pump. Analysts say the price of gas could drop anywhere from 10 to 13 cents a liter tomorrow, and diesel could tank as much as 20 cents a liter. The president of Canadians for Affordable Energy says drivers should wait until tomorrow to fill up, but prices will likely go up again on Thursday.
If we are to take at face value what he said, and markets are doing that, it means that this could be the beginning of prices tumbling back to levels that are a little bit more comfortable for most consumers.
Gas prices across the country are ranging from $1.63 to as much as $1.93 on the West Coast. In Northeastern Ontario, gas prices are at the lower end of that range. Parry Sound is paying $1.65.9 at the pumps today. Sudburyans could find gas as low as $1.57.9. North Bay was as low as $1.63.2. Sault Ste. Marie, $1.60.9. And Timmins had the most expensive gas in the region at $1.71.9. And there's more news still ahead, but first, here's your full weather forecast with Rick.
Lots of details, Tony, to pass along because we'll get a mixture of pretty well everything over the course of the next couple of days. Our forecast radar is issued by Environment Canada. We've got some snow and, of course, around the Sault Ste. Marie, Wawa area, some mixed precipitation, some rain or snow as well, as you'll see with the 7-day forecast. And, of course, that continues into Thursday as well. Overnight conditions, well, we've got some flurries in Greater Sudbury at 2 centimeters. Sault Ste. Marie, chance of flurries in Timmins. Temiskaming Shores, some snow squalls, a couple of centimeters as well. North Bay, 2 to 4 centimeters in squall activity. Moose City, minus 29, minus 34 with the wind chill. Chance of snow, Caphurst. Chance of snow in Wawa, Gore Bay. Chance of flurries and chance of flurries in Parry Sound. Now your 7-day numbers. Sudbury Nickel Belt flurries 2 centimeters tomorrow. Some sleet on Thursday. So snow or rain. Friday some sunshine. -7 degrees. Saturday chance of flurries. Chance of sleet on Sunday. The temperatures 1 and 3 degrees come Monday. Some sun and cloud. 3 degrees, pretty well bang on for your normal at this time of the year. Sault Ste. Marie, Algoma, snow rain mix for tomorrow. More of the same on Thursday. 2 and 1 your daytime highs. Friday, sunshine -5. Chance of flurries on Saturday -1. Chance of sleet, rain or snow Sunday 2 degrees. 4 degrees by next Monday. Some sun and cloud in the forecast. It's not too shabby. Timmins, Cochrane, Kapuskasing. Shabby, I know my friend likes that word. 2 to 4 centimeters during the day, more so at night as well. 2 to 4 centimeters, -3. Periods of snow on Thursday, -8. -10 on the cool down Friday, some sun and cloud. Chance of flurries Saturday, chance of flurries on Sunday, -6, -1 your daytime highs. And the chance of flurries on Monday, wow, 1 degree, it'll be warmer. Timiskaming Shores and Kirkland Lake, chance of flurries tomorrow. Again, 2 centimeters during the day, more so at night as well. 0 your high. Periods of snow Thursday, -3. Friday, sunny skies, -7. Chance of flurries Saturday, chance of sleet Sunday, -3 and 0 your daytime highs. 2 degrees on Monday. Some sun and cloud, and 2 is pretty normal for this time of the year. North Bay and West Nipissing, flurries for tomorrow, 2 centimeters. 2 degrees your high. Sleet on Thursday. Some, well, rain, snow mix, 2 degrees. -6 on Friday. Sunny skies Saturday. Chance of flurries -3. The chance of sleet Sunday +1. And a blistering 4 degrees come Monday in North Bay and West Nipissing. Some sun and cloud. Let's have a look now at our pick of the day. Well, our viewer Graham Grattan says the Vincent Massey icebreaker has made its presence felt in Sault Ste. Marie area. It's starting its voyage. He calls that a sure sign of spring. And Chris, or Graham, I certainly agree. The Vincent Massey, certainly a very impressive icebreaker. Hey, coming up, the U21 mixed curling doubles are underway at the Countryside Arena in Sudbury. Lindsay Alick will have details on that story next.
Whether you're looking for full-time employment or just part-time work to earn some extra money, you have to watch out for job scams. They're rampant online, and victims have lost their personal information along with thousands of dollars. CTV's Pat Foran has details.
Many people like watching movies, so does Abe Reese of Aurora. That's why he was excited to get a text message asking if he wanted a job as a movie reviewer.
They got in touch with me through text messages. It's reviewing films and rating them.
Reese says for about a month he watched and reviewed films. He was told he would be paid, but he needed to put in some of his own money first. He did, but grew concerned and contacted police.
They told me it was all a scam.
Reese was scammed out of $2,000.
I felt sad. I felt like, what am I going to do now?
We also did a story with Greg Burgos. He saw a job advertisement on TikTok and was scammed out of $11,000.
This is money that I was saving. This is money that I need.
Davonshee Podar saw a job posting on Instagram. It was a fake, and she was scammed out of $15,000.
$15,000 is not a small amount. It was all my savings.
We hate to hear about all of these job scams targeting these innocent job seekers.
Indeed is the world's largest job search website. It says criminals are targeting job seekers to steal their information and money. Some signs of a job scam: you receive a job offer you never applied for. There's no in-person interview required. You're offered high pay for easy work. You need to send money to earn money. There are vague job descriptions and unprofessional communication. When someone is looking for work, fraudsters will tell them what they want to hear.
We're going to pay you extremely well. You're going to have flexible hours. You're going to have every benefit you could ever imagine. But we're not going to give you much information about the job. Those are all big red flags.
Reese was trying to find extra income to help his family. If you're looking for work, do your research, check legitimate job boards and company websites. Never pay in advance for expenses or training, or give out your banking information. Pat Foran, CTV News.
The number of return trips to the U.S. by Canadians was down more than 20% in January, a year into the second term of U.S. President Donald Trump. According to Stats Canada, residents returned from 2.1 million trips to the U.S. in January, representing a 22% drop from the same month in 2025. It also marks the 13th consecutive month of a year-over-year decline. By contrast, the number of Canadian residents returning from overseas trips increased more than 10% during the first month of this year. Meanwhile, some school students in the state of Maine are preparing to take flight. The students in Bangor are sending yeast to the edge of space in a balloon flight sponsored by NASA. The experiment is titled Yeast in the Stars. The yeast will be exposed to UV radiation, gases, and extreme cold temperatures. When it comes back down, the question for the students will be what components that are up in space affect the yeast. Once completed, the team will be presenting its work during a NASA student showcase in May. The board of directors for the Timmins and District Hospital announced today that it has appointed a new leader. Mike Baker, current leader of the Timiskaming Hospital, will take over in June. CTV's Lydia Chubak reports.
The Timmins and District Hospital will soon have a new president and chief executive officer. The board of directors announced that Mike Baker, the president and CEO of Timiskaming Hospital, is the successful candidate to replace Kate Fife, who's retiring.
He brings a strong business acumen, a great understanding of the healthcare landscape across not just the region but also the province. So he also brings to this exemplary need for great care in the north.
Baker has previous experience working in Timmins, including as Vice President of Finance, Administration and Indigenous Services at Northern College. He held the leadership role at Timiskaming Hospital for 8 years and understands the challenges the healthcare sector endures.
The challenges are real and you need to step up and you need to make sure that the service levels in Timmins and in the Cochrane District in total don't change because of the challenges that are there. And I've put a lot of emphasis on relationships and being positive, be proactive, use evidence to come up with solutions, and it's worked out well for us. So I think I look at it as a challenge. It's daunting for sure, but I look at it as a challenge that I want to step up to, and I want to be an influencer, and I want to make things better.
Baker also serves on the Ontario Hospital Association as the chair of the Finance and Audit Committee. He says his role with the association has helped the provincial government understand the North's vast geography.
We've been pretty successful in helping them understand that a decision you make that impacts University Avenue, where there's 4 major hospitals, isn't the same decision that it affects someone in Timmins or somewhere else in Northeastern Ontario. The decisions can have significant consequences for the health and safety of our people.
Baker officially takes his new role in Timmins on June 1st, and the search for a new president and CEO at Timiskaming Hospital is now underway. Lydia Chubak, CTV News, Timmins.
The town of Smooth Rock Falls got an early start last night to mark World Tuberculosis Day. Mayor Patrick Roberts sharing with us this incredible picture of the welcome sign to town, all lit up in red. To show their support, communities and cities around the world are being encouraged to light up their landmarks on the 24th in red. Timmins will also be lighting up its signs in front of the bus station and museum. While curable, tuberculosis still manages to claim 1.25 million people every year. They are rising stars in their sport. Still ahead on CTV News at 6. An arena in Sudbury is hosting a couple of curling championships.
Clothing provided by Laura, Melanie Lynn.
A special presentation today for students from the brother of Terry Fox. He's visiting London, carrying on his younger brother's legacy. With more, here's CTV's Brent Lale.
Terry showed that if you want something bad enough.
Fred Fox,
Terry's older brother was sharing inspirational stories at Northridge Public School.
They know about who Terry Fox is, but I try to share some stories that they may not know about Terry.
As he spoke to the hundreds of students, Logan Boyce listened intently.
As a cancer survivor, it's significant to me because the fundraising from it probably helped treat my cancer.
The 13-year-old grade 8 student got leukemia at age 3 and went through 4 years of chemotherapy.
It's not every day someone like Fred Fox just comes to your school, because I've been personally impacted by this, and I think because of that I understand the significance of stuff like this.
Northridge is a perennial powerhouse when it comes to fundraising for the Terry Fox Run. This past year, they led the city, bringing in $31,400. They've participated in every Terry Fox Run.
Over those years, we have raised an amazing $306,000.
Teacher and school run organizer Heidi Fretz grew up learning about Terry Fox in school.
When I met my husband, we just said, yeah, when we have our kids, we'll make that a part of our family. And so we've always done the Terry Fox Run with our kids. And then my husband actually taught here as well. And then in 2020, he was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. And we lost him 4 months later at 47. So it certainly did light an even bigger fire about our Terry Fox passion.
Terry would make everyone around him that much better. I share things about Terry that hopefully is valuable to them, about Terry working hard and never giving up, and Terry truly believed that anything is possible.
Fred Fox's stop here at Northridge Public School was the first of many over 2 days here in the Forest City. He's carrying on an educational tradition his mother started decades earlier. Brent Lale, CTV News.
Curling has taken over the Countryside Arena in Sudbury and will continue to do so for the next week and a half. Curl Sudbury is hosting the U21 Mixed Doubles Championship, followed by the U20 Championships. CTV's Lindsay Ellick tells us more.
8 teams, 2 from Ontario, 1 from Quebec, and 4 from Alberta are battling it out to see which will represent Canada at the World Junior Mixed Doubles Championship to be played in Edmonton in May.
This is only our second year of being able to send a team to the World Championships. So, these are 8 very, very skilled players. So it's exciting, especially to come to Sudbury, be in an arena. It's such a nice facility here, and just watching the first draw here, the ice and rocks look fantastic.
This will be the second time Curl Sudbury will host a national event in the last 3 years. And while it's hard to know the exact number of people coming to town for the events, city officials estimate the economic impact will be between $800,000 to $1 million.
Sudbury's such a big curling community. Just about anyone you talk to, anyone you know, everyone loves curling. Everyone either watches it or plays it. So we felt that we almost owed it to the community that we want to keep bringing these events to town.
I mean, we know for sure sometime this week we're going to see future Olympians. So whether it's in mixed doubles or the men's and women's next week. And what's really nice is we have our Olympic gold Paralympic champion Mark Idison coaching here this week, which is super exciting. Nice for the kids to be able to see that, and just the Sudbury area with the Horgans and Tracy coming back with their bronze. So I think there's a lot of excitement because it's like, hey, I can do this too.
The U21 Mixed Doubles Championships wrap up on the 27th, with the U20 Championships taking place the next day and will run until April 4th. Lindsay Alick, CTV News, Sudbury.
In NOJHL playoff action, the Kirkland Lake Gold Miners played host to the Sudbury Cubs for Game 3 last night. The Gold Miners jumped out to an early lead, but a pair of goals would be all the Cubs required in the third. Sudbury goes on to win 2-1. The Gold Miners now in a do-or-die game tonight on home ice. The Powassan Voodoos are looking for their first playoff win against the Sioux Eagles in Michigan. Both games are 7 o'clock starts. The Timmins Rock and Sioux Thunderbirds will face off at 7 p.m. in the Sioux, and the Hearst Lumberjacks are in Espanola for their Game 3 starting at 7:30. The Sault Greyhounds now have a new deal with the city as the main tenant of GFL Memorial Gardens. The new deal is only 10 years with 2 5-year options to extend it. The city has now expanded box office services to include online sales, increased marketing, and advertising opportunities. The city and Hounds also will add an additional 113 seats to the arena. It was the comeback of a lifetime. An Ottawa woman shares the story of how she turned a prison pastime into a delicious success. CTV's Camille Wilson has her story.
Emily O'Brien admits she made a terrible mistake a decade ago.
I met someone who was allegedly sober, brought me on this trip. I'd known him for like 8 or 9 months. 3 days into the trip, I find out that it's a drug operation, that he owes money to some people, and they have my passport information because he booked the trip.
Caught up in a drug smuggling scheme for smuggling 2 kilograms of cocaine into Canada.
It started in the most unlikely and unfortunate of places, and that was federal prison. In 2015, I was arrested at Pearson International Airport.
Popcorn being a popular prison snack, O'Brien says her and some other inmates decided to put their own little twist on it. And that's where her popcorn comeback snacks was created.
We'd make popcorn, like people would make birthday cakes and stuff, just trying to like make it seem a little bit not like prejudice. It became kind of like a family in there just to get us through this tough time. And so we'd also make popcorn, and we'd put different recipes on like different spices. Comeback blueprint.
The business is a success. Now she's sharing her story with business leaders at Invest Ottawa and how she turned this mistake into a business where she sells snacks in more than 1,200 stores in Canada and will soon have a deal in the U.S.
Emily's story is phenomenal, and just the whole theme of International Women's Month, or Women's Day, is give to gain, accelerate and grow and thrive. And so Emily's story is all about that. It's about her resilience, her passion, her desire, her drive, and then through that she actually gives back to the people in her community as well.
She's also hired people who were incarcerated, turning her success into an opportunity for others to have a second chance.
This work has brought me all over Canada, and I've done podcasts and interviews all over the world. Like, no matter what you go through, no matter what failures you have or what mistakes you make, you can come back from them.
Camille Wilson, CTV News.
Entertainment brought to you by the Cinefest Red Carpet Patron Program.
A sequel has been greenlit, and a classic coming-of-age movie is returning to the silver screen. David Daniel has tonight's Hollywood Report.
I need this job. I can't lose it. I do not want to go back.
The Housemaid sequel is going ahead. Sydney Sweeney is set to return for The Housemaid's Secret alongside Oscar nominee Kirsten Dunst. Lionsgate says the film will have Sweeney's Millie taking a job with a woman she's never allowed to see. TLC, Salt and Peppa, and En Vogue are teaming for the It's Iconic Tour. The 36-city tour launches August 15th in Franklin, Tennessee. Ticket pre-sale begins Tuesday.
Oh man, where do you hear this? Where do you hear this? What is it, man? You guys want to go see a dead body?
Stand By Me has been remastered for its 40th anniversary. The Rob Reiner coming-of-age classic, based on the Stephen King novella, returns to theaters for 1 week beginning Friday. Settling in with my popcorn in Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
The Middle East conflict has already spiked the price of oil and gas, but it could lead to price hikes for many other products as well. BNN Bloomberg's Marella Fernandez has more.
The CEO of Dollarama says the discount chain will try not to pass on price increases to customers. The discount store just reported earnings with sales of just over $2 billion for the quarter. But Dollarama is bracing for weaker demand, saying the Iran conflict will likely lead to price increases for any goods that need to be shipped. Dollarama CEO says those costs will permeate the supply chain for at least the next few months. Here are the closing numbers for the day. The Canadian dollar is up to 72.66. West Texas Intermediate is up over $4 to 92.35. Western Canadian Select is down $9 to 72.91. And the TSX gained 57 points today. Those are your business headlines. I'm Marella Fernandez.
Here are the current prices for some key commodities we watch. Gold is up $63.44, closing the day at $44.70, 22 US an ounce. Silver up $1.83. Copper slipped 13 cents and nickel is up 10 cents, ending the day at $7.63 US a pound. And Rick is back now for one last look at your Wednesday weather.
Well, Tony, it's a mixed bag of precipitation right now. We've got some flurries right across the Northeast. Also, we have some rain and some snow. And that'll affect some communities as well. But the temperatures should be okay for this time of the year. We're close to normal in some sectors and others as well. We'll also have some sunny breaks. It looks like Friday is going to be predominantly sunny across Northeastern Ontario, but somewhat colder. So again, get ready for a change in weather. We go from low pressure to high pressure come Friday, back to the low pressure. And again, we should be reaching some near normal temperatures by the start of next week with a lot of sun and clouds. So Tony, a mix of weather, but not too startling in terms of precipitation and other factors as well. Should be okay. Back to you.
Thanks for that, Rick. People from across Canada came to take part in the Canadian Jigsaw Association Alberta Regionals, hoping to piece together a win. There were individual and team competitions with close to 200 people taking part. The solo winner finished the 500-piece puzzle in just under half an hour. She says she used any time possible to sharpen her skills.
It's one that I know I can do fast, so I've practiced it quite a lot in my lunch breaks at work for the last couple of weeks. So I was very lucky when this came out of the bag. So I moved to Canada a year ago, and puzzles and like the community and the people has been really helpful in me like settling in here and having sort of a community that makes me feel at home even when I'm a million miles away.
Wow, a half hour. And if you missed the regional contest, you're in luck. Nationals is open to everybody. It takes place in Ontario at the end of May. And folks, that's CTV News at 6. I'm Tony Ryma. Thanks so much for watching. More news comes your way at 11:30 with Ian Campbell. Good night.